Okay, so this is actually a topic that is very near and dear to my heart, as somebody who struggles with anxiety and has struggled for a long time with anxiety. Also, somebody who struggles with, kind of up and down weight gain and sometimes, when I'm really doing a great job of eating well and exercising and staying focused, and I don't see things happen on the scale, or I get frustrated because, I have more cravings or whatever, then I'm like, okay, what's the other element here? Because there's got to be a little piece of something. And I've learned over the years that there's a lot of different pieces to the puzzle, so much more so than just not necessarily what you eat and exercise, but there's other elements like how well you sleep, if you do sleep, how long you sleep, what you have, to drink, and how much water you're getting in, and all of these different things. But the biggest thing for me that has really, really come to the forefront is stress. When it comes to stress and weight gain, or even stress and like hanging on to weight, those kinds of things. I've done a ton of research in this, again, because I was personally interested in it. I'm like, okay, all of these things, I'm kind of controlling these variables of working out every day and drinking enough water and getting enough sleep and eating well. What's this thing that's making the scale pause? So that's when I came across everything with stress. And, stress, we can all agree, is not a good thing. It can lead to headaches and muscle tension and digestive problems and sleep disturbances, even depression, and it wreaks havoc with our metabolism. So it's one of those things when our body is in that fight or flight feeling all the time, it's not healthy for us. And it increases our levels of cortisol, which is the stress hormone. And if you've had any experience with hormones, when our hormones are imbalanced, then also it makes it really hard to lose weight and to keep the weight off, or, to get to problem areas like our stomach. So I actually did a little bit of research about cortisol, just to kind of give you guys some some scientific-y information. Not only when you have increased cortisol does it wreak havoc on different areas of your body, it actually can increase your food cravings, especially for junk food, which I thought was interesting. And it can increase your belly fat. So if your tummy area is an area you struggle with losing weight, a lot of us women do struggle with that area, especially after we have babies. And I mean, some of that isn't necessarily having to do with stress and cortisol. It's actually our bodies have gone through a lot with pregnancies. But I found that really interesting that that's where stress weight gain tends to sit. Now, I didn't want to come on here and not have any solutions. So I was kind of researching some different solutions and looking into things that how can we kind of battle this? How can we actually overcome stress getting in the way of our goals when we're working really hard and everything else? Plus, I just don't want to feel like I'm in a constant state of stress. And with September coming and back to school and the schedule's getting full, I don't want to live in that area. Okay, so the first thing that was suggested was don't skip the fats, healthy fats, especially healthy fats. So don't just be like, oh, I gotta have more bacon. It's not like that. It's like those healthy fats, things like avocados and olive oil and unsalted nuts and seeds. Those types of foods are really, really important for us hormonally as women. They actually make a really big difference also in making sure we feel satisfied after we eat or with different meals. So if you can incorporate those into your meals, it's a big thing. A lot of our workshops show us how to do that and remind us to do that. The second thing was portion control. So we're very familiar with portion control. I love this idea of portion control though. So it's not like, okay, well, I just can't have any carbs. It's the carbs. It's always the carbs. How about I try to overeat veggies as portions? Because we know that when we're not short on vitamins and minerals and the types of foods that our body can break down, whole foods, then our body's just going to work a lot better. And in turn, our hormones are going to work a lot better and everything's going to get balanced much easier and much faster. The third thing was, I thought this was neat, incorporate metabolic boosters into your meals. So that sounds fancy, but what they were suggesting was if you can spice up your food a little bit, it can actually improve your metabolic breakdown of foods. So for example, hot peppers, cayenne, a little bit of cayenne. I don't do hot foods very well. So like a little bit of cayenne for me my body would go into overtime to work that out. This was a good one. breathe before you eat. Breathe, sit down, enjoy your meal. You know, how many of us busy women have eaten meals at our counters or shoved food down our throats while we're driving in the car, trying to run from one kid's pickup to the other, or get the kids to school on time, or get to work on time, and try not to spill our food down our shirts. It's so important that we actually take a deep breath before we eat. And I know we've learned with our workshops how to actually, drink 16 ounces of water. It gives you time to actually let your stomach feel full and send a message to your brain that, hey, like, I'm not super hungry. We don't have to freak out. We can just enjoy our food. It's going to be okay. And then this was my favorite. Take a quick walk post-meal. So after your dinner, take a quick walk, even if it's only 10, 15 minutes. I love to do walks, and it's just something I don't do for myself as often as I should. Not only does it help normalize your blood sugars and just kind of get you moving, it can actually like help normalize them for up to 3 hours after you eat when you do a walk after. But it also gives you some time to unwind. So it gives you, some fresh air. It allows you to clear your head, reduce a little bit of the stress, maybe connect with somebody if you walk with a friend, connect with nature, which I find to be so powerful, especially when I'm stressed out. So I've actually written these down, and I'm going to make sure that I incorporate them into my day, and I start being more mindful of this, because I do think that there's a lot of people who tell me, I feel like I'm doing everything right, and there's just like something is missing, and this is something we can't control or change for each other. We can just be mindful of it and, come up with solutions and better ideas of how we can manage our stress and how we can actually take care of ourselves so that it's not actually getting in the way of the types of goals we have when it comes to weight loss and healthier living and just all around feeling better. Because when you lift that weight off of your shoulders, or you feel that your chest feel tight anymore, it's so good. It's so good. And I think we all need and we all deserve that. So hopefully you found this helpful, and I hope you have a great day.